Thank you for joining another episode of Golden State Warriors Fan Show. I am your host, Chris Bolton, and we have a very special guest with us today, my girl Gina. Gina repping the Bay. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great, thank you.
The Warriors, it's been an up and down season, of course, as you know. The Warriors are sitting at 34 and 33, so right there, just above 500. But this team looking pretty good, trying to make it into the playoffs. They're right there in the hunt. Currently, the eighth team when it comes to the play-in situation. And so let's just take a glance at their schedule. Look at some of the upcoming games they have and see how we think they can finish the season. So, of course, it's kind of ironic. They have to play Utah. First, they play the Thunder, finishing up a back-to-back with the Thunder. Then they play Utah, Phoenix, a couple teams that they could end up playing if they do win the play-in. Then you also have New Orleans and Memphis. Two teams right there that are scrapping it out, trying to be in that play-in situation as well, hoping to see the Warriors lose. So with these last, let's see, is it 5 games? Yes. What do you think the record could be for Golden State coming out of that 5-game stretch?
I think, the Jazz, it's going to be obviously a tough matchup. But considering we have beaten tough teams already, we beat the Sixers, we beat the Lakers once, we beat the Clippers, we weren't expected to beat those guys. We're in the toughest division. That game against the Sixers was just phenomenal. I don't know. I think, the Jazz, hopefully they'll win over the Grizzlies. They should definitely don't they play the Pelicans again? Yeah. So
if it's a close game against the Pelicans at the end, honestly, they should win that because the Pelicans have just been blowing games left and right in their close.
Yeah, for sure. And I go to the game tomorrow night, so they better win that game. My first time at Chase, so I'm taking my son. Yeah, they better win.
So let's see. They should win against the Thunder. We're going to go ahead and say they beat the Thunder. Utah and Phoenix. It's going to be tough. The top 2 seeds in the West. But you come back and play New Orleans. I think that should be a win. And also you wrap the season up with Memphis. So let's say that's 3-2 right there. So possibly 37 and 35. Let's say they hold position and they have to play the 7th seed when it comes to the play-in tournament. Let's say Golden State finishes as the 8th team in the West and they play the 7th seed to start the play-in tournament. It could possibly be either the Lakers, who just lost to Portland in a close game, a really good game, and now Portland holds the tiebreaker when it comes to that. So Lakers going to have to win a few more games, and they're going to need some help from Portland. Or it could possibly be Portland. How do you think the Warriors match up against, let's say, the Lakers to start? This probably will be a Lakers team that will have the king on the floor. So that is a matchup problem.
Recently, LeBron had just said, I'm not at 100%. I'm not going to be at 100% for the rest of my career. And of course, everyone talks about LeBron. So, who knows? That's a toss-up. Anthony Davis, he's still in his prime. So you can't take anything away from him. He just blocked this huge shot, right before the end of the game. So, and then you've got KCP, who's been hitting all his shots, this season compared to last season. Kuzma was non-existent today, but the other night he had all the points, so
go up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
Wild card, right.
Right, exactly. So I don't know.
How do you think they'll fare against Portland? Dame is kind of a similar player as Steph when it comes to shooting threes, can pull it from anywhere. He's right there in the conversation. We used to say Steph range. Now a lot of people say Dame range. Yeah, he's a great shooter. So that would be a very fun series. Well, a very fun game.
Yeah. Well, there's all that banter on Twitter of, well, now it's Dame that can make all those, clutch shots and everything like that. And, at the same time, I mean, like we swept Portland, in 2019. So it'd be interesting to see, especially with Steph carrying the Warriors this year. So, I mean, you can't really like fault the Warriors based on the young team he's with, I mean, Draymond's there, of course, but it'll be interesting. I wouldn't fault the Warriors for losing to the Blazers, because I mean they're basically a 500 team. I mean that's all. They win some, they lose some. It's every other day, So
exactly, that's been the story of the season with this team. They're when they're up, and when they're down, they're down. I mean, they've been all over the place. They've beaten teams by 25 points, and they've been beat by 30 points. I mean, it's just a season that's all over the place.
And now, very winnable games, like extremely winnable games.
And then pulling out wins that honestly they had no business winning.
Exactly.
I think someone who has to step up is someone who's been playing well lately, and that's Andrew Wiggins.
Two-way Wigs.
Two-way Wigs. Who would have thought? I mean, this season, everybody was kind of talking noise about Wiggins. He doesn't play defense, but he's been two-way Wigs this year.
Yep, absolutely.
He's had at least 20 points in 4 of his last 5 games. Yeah. So if that carries over into the postseason, that playing game, and he gives you a good 25, I think the Warriors will be in good shape. They'll be right there in the thick of things in the playing game if Wiggs has like 22, 25 points.
Yeah, he just needs to keep that consistency of, as soon as they step out on the court, just that fire, that determination. I can tell when he doesn't have it, the role players don't have it.
Right.
It really has to come from him. You can feel it when he's not aggressive. I mean, you just feel the energy is like lackluster,
Right. Like you say, we can see it on the TV screen. If you're in the arena, you can kind of feel it. So definitely. Now, Steph, we've already talked about him, during the show, during this episode. He's been amazing, averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, and almost 6 assists per game. I'm curious, how do you think he finishes? Where do you think he finishes in the MVP race? We've mentioned Jokic, Embiid. Where is Steph going to finish when the voting is done?
Realistically, well, I mean, I'm a, hashtag Steph better, biased person. He's my favorite player since Michael Jordan. Okay. Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Of course.
But I mean, if I was voting, I'd vote, for Steph Curry for MVP. I mean, he's carrying the team on his back, but I'd say right now a solid 3rd place.
See that. I definitely can see that. I think Jokic is having a historic season. Whether you like his game or not, he's been amazing. And you have to give credit where credit's due. So I
hasn't missed a game.
Yes. And Embiid has missed games. Jokic hasn't missed a game. So that's a big part of it. So I would say Jokic first. I think Steph has a chance for second.
Yeah. He might even be second. Yeah.
He has a chance for second. I don't think he's finishing no lower than 3rd, personally. Well, Gina, it has been a blast. I appreciate you. We will definitely have to do this again. And any other Warriors fans, please message me, hit me up, and we can try to work you into the show. So be sure to do that. Gina, I love you. Thank you. This has been fun.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch y'all later.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, create a profile in Fan Media Network. Then look for the news page in our website and fan show resources page. Help yourself. We give show hosts a show graphic and team colors, a simple short show format, tips on pre- and post-production, ideas to get fans and guests on your show, Apple News distribution and show sponsorship sales and services to help featured show hosts earn money. Show hosts use our iPhone app to publish their shows. Our website supports Android users.